everyone, and welcome to She Rides, the podcast where women's cycling takes the lead.
And I'm Christoph, and today we're diving into the latest race results and hot topics in women's cycling.
And we have a guest joining us to share her story. Let's get started. Ready? Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 45 of She Rides. We're in the middle of Worlds, and we have a guest with us today. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Maybe for the listeners who don't know you yet, how would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as busy, outgoing, adventurous, and I just like to get things done.
Okay, that's nice. I don't think you took the usual path to cycling. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so I was a competitive swimmer for 8 years growing up, and then I stopped swimming and I met my husband, and he was a professional triathlete, so I wanted to see him more, hang out with him, so I started doing some triathlon just I could go on rides with him and swim with him and just see him. So then I did this for a little bit, and then I didn't like the running so much, so I started entering some cycling races in New Zealand, and then I started to get into it more and do the nationals, and then I found cycling in Europe.
And how were those early years or even months of just finding the sport actually?
It was so hard. I came into it really not knowing until I was maybe 18 years old that you could race your bike on the road. I didn't know. It wasn't something that any of my friends did or anybody in school did where I was growing up. So it was so unknown, and it took a lot of getting used to. And I didn't understand what the whole life and environment was like over here and how important road cycling is to the culture. And I think, the first races I did were so crazy. I really didn't know what I'd gotten myself into, but as I've done it longer and longer, I've fallen in love with it. And it's a really cool sport that I hope that we can see a lot more on that side of the world.
And then, what did triathlon teach you that still helps you today as a cyclist? Whether it's training discipline, endurance, or mindsets? Because, you pretty much started like, hey, I want to hang out with my then boyfriend. It needs some structure, right?
Yeah, I think triathlon taught me a lot in terms that it's a crazy training schedule and they can get so much done in one day. It's training after training after training, and they have to be so organized and so disciplined. And it's not like the mindset is so different even to cycling because, when we wake up in the morning, we prepare ourselves to go out and ride and do sets of efforts. But once that's done, it's done for the day. Maybe some people, occasionally you're doing split rides, but I think, triathlon, they're doing a swim session in the morning, and then they're doing a biking session, and then they're doing a running session. And you have to mentally get yourself up so many times in the day and be like, oh, I'm going to give my best, or and you have to focus so many times. I think it really taught me a lot of discipline, and also you can always push more, which you also have to be careful with, I must say. But I think, in the races as well, there were many times I was like, oh, I'm not going to finish this run. I'm so dead. I've gone out way too hard, and you can always just keep going, keep pushing. And it's a bit like that in the cycling some way. If you get dropped in the race, if you keep pushing and don't give up, a lot of the times you'll actually come back and be able to be part of the race even further.
And were you actually happy to transition to cycling and leave triathlon behind? Were you like, woohoo, no more running? Or was it a little bit sad? Like, I don't know.
No, I think I was really happy. I do still really enjoy it and the variety, but I also enjoy the cycling as a sport and the training. And I think going out and doing one session, maybe it's a bigger session, much longer, but it's much nicer to come home. And I feel you don't have to go again and again, and you can get a bit more rest.
Mm-hmm. No, and actually, a lot of triathletes think the bike section is their strongest part instead of swimming and running. Wasn't it already the case with you when you were a triathlete?
Yeah, I think I had to learn it a lot, and like I'm still learning it a lot now. And I started to get into it more when COVID hit New Zealand, and we had a really hard lockdown, so we bought this Zwift setup like everybody else did. And like when I think back to it now, I don't know how I rode like so much on that thing because I
Like,
I cannot do it now. But it was so cool because you could race these people like online, and I thought it was so great. And then yeah, once I actually got into the sport and riding on the road, I was like, that was not great. That was awful. But I think because it was so boring, we were trapped in our homes, like it was really something that was kind of something else to do. Otherwise, we also were only allowed to ride like 5 kilometers away from our house. So one time my husband, he was so bored, he did 60 laps of our garden.
Oh, he did a
With
backyard ultra.
Yeah, it was like a lot of kilometers, not for me.
Yeah, what people do when they get bored, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I know, we could just sit and enjoy the fact that we didn't have to go to work and
Yeah, but you didn't have to go to anything else. That was the problem.
yeah, exactly. We didn't have anything else, so we came up with
Yeah,
crazy things to do.
yeah, but good thing half of the professional women's peloton started that time out their cycling career during Zwift, during COVID,
Yeah,
actually. That's
yeah, I
a
think
lot,
so. I
a
think
lot
so.
we hear here. How did you start? Yeah, well, we couldn't do anything, so I started to to cycle during COVID.
Yeah,
It's like half of our guests are like that. Then
yeah. It was awesome. You could talk to people on Zwift as well,
yeah,
because yeah, we were having like tea parties with our neighbors from the other side of the fence. But yeah, there's nothing. No one had anything to talk about.
yeah, different times. So hey, and Kim, did it actually triathlon racing? Did it actually give you a head start in terms of time trial power and pacing? Because that's like quite essential during the bike lag and triathlon. So given you're quite a good time trialist, did it give you already a head start?
Yeah, I think it did in terms of knowing I could push quite hard for a long time, but I think also it's such a different position in the triathlon than the road cycling, so it took me a lot to learn how to actually push power in a aero position. Sorry. Mm-mm. That's actually my reminder for whereabouts.
Okay. She's here, folks.
Yeah, I got
She's not here. She's in she's in Girona. Yeah.
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 But yeah, I think like the position is so upright in triathlon, and it's so much easier to push power. And like, yeah, when you're sitting upright, especially a lot of people talk about it, on the road bike, you're going to push a lot more power than you are on the TT bike. And it's learning to be able to like fold yourself up into an aero position and then push the power. And I think the triathlon, it helped a lot because I learnt to sit down and forward, but I think yeah, it's still taken a lot of time for me to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you end up in a bunch in the peloton of cycling. Yeah. How different did that feel compared to like the lone non-drafting effort or like the small groups in Olympic distance in triathlon? Kim? Was it like a shock, like, whoa, what is this?
It was such a shock. I don't know, especially even racing in New Zealand. There's a few small bike races in New Zealand, but maybe you have 15 people ish, maybe less. And I think like it was so, I remember my first race and I was just so scared. I didn't understand how there could be so many people on the start line of this race. Girls were pushing and shoving. And I think it was Rhonda Muscron was my first UCI race. And like, I'd never seen a cobblestone before. I didn't even like, and then we started and they didn't even have a neutral section. They went from the gun. And like, it was just chaos. There was just people pushing and shoving because this cobble, and I didn't have the route or the map. I hadn't studied the course. Like I was in a really small team and I didn't even know these things were going to be there. And yeah, we just hit them and there were girls falling off the side, falling off the cobble. Like pushing and shoving and screaming, and I was like, "Oh, like, what have I got myself into? I don't know if this is for me." So I think, yeah, that has taken a very long time for me to understand, and, like, even now, it's still something I struggle with a lot, and I always prefer a reduced group, a harder race, because then we can have a reduced group, and I find it a lot easier. And in terms of being able to descend, like, in a bunch is also so hard, because I've had to learn the technical skills of going downhill, and that was a real weakness for me. And now I feel really confident in following my teammates and descending, and I've learned those skills. But then again, it's doing it in a group of people, and you've got girls coming from behind that you can't see, girls in front of you, girls changing lines, like, and that is really, really hard to, like, lock in and focus where you're going and not focus, like, the whole time on what other people are doing and trying to follow the right wheels. And it's just been a really, really tricky thing for me to, like, myself be aware of other people and aware of where I am in the bunch, be close enough to people but not too close. And I think it's really hard to pick that up in a short period of time.
Yeah, what a funny story. Then you're at the starting line of Ronde Mouscron, and then your team forgot to mention, oh, by the way, just little detail, there might be some couples somewhere
No, it was.
along the road.
I thought I was being smart, like, on the first time, because it was a small piece of, like, pavement where the cobbles are, and then there was pavement, and then I didn't look up because there was someone else in front of me, and there was, like, a big barrier, and I remember I, like, punched it with my fist, and it was,
Oh.
like, bleeding, and I was like, I'm in, like, 3 kilometers into this race, but I've, like, broken my knuckle, I can't hold on to my bars anymore.
Like, what is this? I did not sign up for this.
Yeah, I was like, this is not what it was like at home. This is not
No,
like Swiss.
The town of Mouscron is not even close to New Zealand, I think.
No. So
Then looking back at your triathlon days, Kim, did it make you tough or tougher for the long efforts and climbs that you excel at today? Do you think
yeah,
like, okay, this shaped my mindset, or were you from nature-wise like already like, okay, no, I'm stubborn and then full focused and I just go? What
yeah,
did
I think people would definitely probably call me, like, a bit stubborn.
it?
Once I want to do something, I really, really want to do it. Yeah, the triathlon, it does make you really, really strong, because you have such a long way to go, and you're doing it alone. You're not drafting off other people. The effort is as hard as you can go for such a long period of time, I think and then you have this effort that you have to do for such a long period of time, like do 3 different sports, and then you might come to the finish with somebody else, like, right beside you, and you've still got to be able to sprint, like, in a cycling race or something, after such a long time. And a lot of the races that we do, it's really hard from the gun, like, much harder than a triathlon, full gas, and then there's sort of like a break, maybe goes away, and then you get, like, a bit of a rest in the middle, and then you go, not all the time, and then maybe go full gas again at the end. But in the triathlon, you're just going as hard as you can for 4.5 hours. Yeah, and that's really hard, and mentally you have to, like, learn to accept that.
Oh, enough about triathlon, right?
Yes.
What's your topic? So let's move a little bit further, leave Mouscron behind us. So you went from winning the U23 New Zealand time trial in 2022 to signing for a World Tour team soon after. Did it feel like everything moves very quickly, or did you just like go with the flow?
No, I felt like everything did move. I mean, in the moment, I think I just went with the flow. And actually, because I didn't know the sport and I didn't know a lot of the way that other girls had gotten into it, I kind of just thought that's how it went. And now I look back at it, I think it went really, really fast. And sometimes maybe that was a really big challenge for me. And it was really, really hard, and maybe it could have been done in an easier way, but that was just my pathway, and that's just how it happened. But yeah, in the moment, I definitely was just going with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really seems you don't like to take easy ways anyway, Kim, so it's okay.
No,
What was the hardest thing to learn for you after triathlon? Was it, yeah, you mentioned in the riding in the peloton, was there something else that really popped out for you? Like, oh, this was hard to adjust to?
I think there's many things. I mean, even I'd never lived on the other side of the world. I never, I hadn't been to the Netherlands. I joined a predominantly Dutch team. Um, and it's just so different. And also where I'd mainly done individual sports. I didn't have teammates in a triathlon. I didn't have teammates when I was swimming. So it's a big adjustment to, you're working with other people. You're all part of one group, but you are riding individually, and cycling is so specific to that. So it's been learning to ride in the peloton, but also there's so much depth and so much understanding involved in the sport that isn't just riding your bike.
Yeah. And while you were rolling into the peloton and learning, was there like a specific moment you can remember, like, oh, maybe this isn't just switching from triathlon, but this could actually be a career?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments was racing up Mont Ventoux. That was really, really cool. Because that was one of the first races where I was in the front. I was part of the race, and I was like, oh, this is something I really, really want to do. And when I finished that race in 5th place, like, I was really actually in the moment I was really disappointed. I was like, oh, I didn't win. Like, why didn't I win? And then people started messaging me out of, different teams, strangers on social media, and the next races that I went to, they knew who I was, and I thought it was so weird. I was like, why are you following me? Like, I got 5th, I lost. And yeah, that's when I started I wanted more. And that's when I was like, oh, this actually does mean a lot to people, and it does show that, like, I was progressing.
And then you mentioned it, yeah, you hadn't lived on the other side of the world yet. How hard is it to make it for a Kiwi to the World Tour peloton?
It's a really big challenge, because I think it depends where you live in New Zealand, but I
Mhm.
first of all didn't know anything about the sport, didn't know existed, and then to be able to come over here obviously takes a lot of money, because the flights are really expensive. You've got to bring all your bikes, all the excess luggage, and then find somewhere to stay. And a lot of us, we only get 90 days in Europe a year. And that's also another challenge. And to find a team that's going to let you ride for them, there's a lot less of them now, because the amount of people and talent over here is massive. So you've really got, like, these teams, you've got to be really good enough, because it's extra money, it's extra weight for these teams to want to sign you when you come from New Zealand. So it is a lot more of a challenge. Like, a lot of us gets flown home at the end of the season, but that costs the team extra money as well.
Yeah. And what are some specific things that could make it easier for non-European riders to make it to the top of the sport?
I think we need more exposure in our countries, a lot more people understanding the sport. And for a small period of time in New Zealand, there's been a men's team that started doing UCI races, and that doesn't exist anymore. And there's another guy who is my old coach, and he's set up a women's team that's done some UCI races from New Zealand, and specifically like New Zealand and Australian riders, and just bringing them over here and giving them that chance and that opportunity, because I think there's less and less to be able to join a team. So there's got to be pathways to be able to experience it and also learn, because you just don't get the same kind of racing at home. So when you come over here, it's a massive shock, and it's also really hard to show your own performances, or that you can ride, because you just don't know how to do it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, back to your career and your progression. As we said, it went very fast from Torelli to Jumbo-Visma, and now how has every team and every step like made you to the person and cyclist you are today?
I think my first team was very small, and that that taught me a lot, because I really had to fend for myself. I had to fight for myself in every single race. I didn't, the races were a shock, and I was really fighting to find a team, to get noticed, to join the world tour. And then when I signed to Jumbo Visma, like it was a big shock to go from that into the world tour and such an organized environment. And I really learnt a lot in that team, and it's very, they have their ways of doing things. It's like you learn a lot because you are taught a lot, but also I think the way that I am, like, I have a bit more like sort of personality. So then after my year there, I was looking for a team with a bit more sort of lenience and freedom, and EF really stood out to me because they're always attacking in the races, making them interesting. They're quite a creative team, a lot of different personalities, and I think that was really important for me
Mhm.
coming from New Zealand, from a different culture, coming into a team with a lot of personalities, a lot of different cultures. We are a really international team, makes it really accepting because we all understand that we've come from different places and we can't all work the same
Mhm.
because we haven't been brought up the same. But in the races, we have had to learn to work together, and I think that's really shaped the way that I am now, because I know that I can work with anybody and I can learn from anyone, no matter whether it's climbers, sprinters. And we have, a lot of the older riders are really good road captains. And now, I have this sort of courage, and I have my own voice and opinion, and I'm not afraid to talk to the team and talk to the other riders. But I also am very understanding and willing to learn from them because I know that they have a lot of experience and a lot of different ideas. So I think slowly over time, like every team I've been in has been a really good stepping stone in learning and helped me to become the rider that I'm becoming.
Like you already said, like EF has a reputation for supporting and developing riders in general. What's been the most valuable part for you from the EF team in that environment? Like the different nationalities, the experienced riders, the development pathway.
I think especially I've always felt really supported as a rider. We are given a lot of resources, but I've just felt since I've come to this team, I've really come out of my shell of I've at home in New Zealand, I'm not a super nervous, scared person, but I would say when I came over here I was. And I was scared to have my own sort of voice and opinion because I was, maybe also feeling a bit like that I was so lacking in experience that I shouldn't have an opinion. And I think, the team has really pushed me to be a lot more confident in myself. And also, in a race, when a moment happens and somebody attacks, or a moment you think, oh, maybe should I attack? You can't be nervous and scared and being like in the radio, oh, do you think like, I should attack? Because that moment is gone. And I think that's taught me a lot to be able to think for myself as well as learn from what the others are doing, and give me that confidence that, okay, maybe I don't know, maybe it fails, but then if you don't try, you'll never know and you'll never learn from it. And I think that's really helped me to learn a lot more as a rider.
And you recently renewed with EF. Congrats about that, Kim. Think it's quite a relief. I think after not the most interesting season you had. Let's put it that way, physically,
Yeah.
due to everything what happened. So what makes it? What did it make the right team for you? Like where you were like, okay, I want to continue this because I get the full confidence and this is the right fit for me right now.
Yeah, I think after such a challenging year, I think it's really important for me to find some stability, and continue to grow and rebuild into a solid rider. And I think changing teams again, that's another unknown. It's more stresses, and I feel really comfortable where I am, and I know that I have the support and the resources, and with a bit of luck and progression, I can become into a stronger rider that I want to be with this team. And I think it's just having that confidence and that support that can keep growing and rebuild myself.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. Uh, Stability that you're used to it. You feel the confidence from the team. and it will to probably ease your comeback for next season to come back stronger. So hey, it's been a while. We tend to forget, but congrats on winning both the New Zealand national TT and road race titles in 2025, Kim. How did it take us back to that moment? How did it feel like to take both jerseys? Like I think one winning was already like woohoo, and then the cherry on the cake came in the road race. So how did you? Can you describe us that couple of days?
Yeah, I think it's funny when I look back at it now because that was something I really, really wanted. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all I got out of this year in terms of results. Maybe not in terms of learnings, but yeah, we joke in my household we're calling me Miss February this year. And I think like those 2 days were just amazing. I had my whole family around. Yeah, my partner and my dad, they were driving the car with the bottles, and I didn't expect it because I wasn't sort of in the climbing form that I would like to have been in, and it is a like uphill finish that year. And actually a lot of the girls in New Zealand had changed teams this year. Neve Fisher Black, Ali Wollaston, and they all came back to New Zealand, which they hadn't done in the previous years, because I think, everybody wants to take home the national jersey to their new team. And so I actually was really threatened by that. I was like, oh, that's going to be like really hard. And Ali Wollaston was in such great form after racing in Australia and taking the win at Cadzow Evans, and I was really unsure of how it was going to go. And I think I actually just lost the kind of feeling, like I almost felt like I couldn't win it, that I wasn't so fixated on it. And in those moments, like I got misplaced and dropped one of the times up the climb. And then, sometimes in those moments you think, oh, I can just try something because I'm not going to do it anyway. And then I was away off the front and kept pushing, and they kept coming back, and then like the time was going out, and then they were coming back again, and then the time was going out, and I just kept pushing, and I knew I had my teammate behind, Henry, and she was doing an amazing job of causing disruption. So I think like it was really a team effort between me and her, and the whole day she was attacking, and it really inspired me to like try and do something. So yeah, it was such an amazing feeling because I really wanted to go back to back with my TT jerseys. It's something I love, doing the time trial, and I really wear the New Zealand jersey with pride, and then to be able to wear both was such an amazing feeling. And it's really disappointing because I would have liked to feel like I could have given it a bit of a better run this year and a bit of better racing, but it just is what it is.
Yeah, and when you line up here in Europe, Kim, wearing that national champions jersey, whether it's in the TT or on the road. By the way, it's the best national jersey that exists.
you.
Actually, the New Zealand one. Like you can do whatever you want with other countries. The New Zealand one is always on top.
Yeah.
At least I think so. So anyway, does it change how the riders look at you in the peloton with that jersey on? And does it change how you see yourself as a rider when you put on that national jersey?
Yeah, I think it does change how the riders see you, because you're a lot more noticeable in a strange kind of way, and actually attacking is much harder because they see you and they're like, oh, we can't let the national champion go. And I think, yeah, for me, it was such a cool feeling pulling the jersey on. Like I just felt so happy. I felt like I had New Zealand on my back, and that was such a cool feeling for me. And then even Cannondale came out and made the bikes as well with the New Zealand paint job on it, and like that was amazing. Like I'll have that bike forever, and I think it's just such a nice thing. I love that road cycling does it, because it's such a cool thing to have your own like national jersey and bike. And yeah.
Well, probably not this year, but let's just skip 2025 anyway. You'll come back stronger next season, that's for sure. But you've shown us already like what you're capable of. Which of your performances gave you actually the biggest confidence boost?
I think initially it was definitely Liège, because actually I was so afraid of this race. To be fair, a lot of the racing in Belgium and the Netherlands is nerve-wracking for me, because it's a lot about positioning. reading the races, knowing the courses. It's a lot more technical, so that can always be a bit of a worry. And yeah, the plan the day was for me to attack up one of the climbs, which was actually a lot later on than when I went. And I think I'd never sort of, my teammates had a lot of trust and faith in me, and it's something I found really hard, like getting through the peloton, and they took the time. And I remember Clara Koppenberg, she pulled me all the way from the back and all the way to the front. And then we got to the front, and then pretty much just after I got there, someone went and I went with her. And then from then onwards, I was out the front the whole day, and it just made it so much easier for me because I was riding my own race. And it gave me a lot of confidence because the whole day, like, I was able to pull with all the others and get through the parts that I was really afraid of, especially like, the run into the redoute is really tricky and challenging when you're in the bunch, and then to do it freely with the girls that I was with. And when they were attacking, like Elise Shabby up the climbs, when I could follow it, it gave me a lot of confidence, and to be there in the final was such a cool feeling.
Yeah, that's nice. And we can't wait to see you back in that position, Kim. That's we have saved a lot of cheers for you this season, so
Thank you.
we we will put them out next season.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So hey, Sad, let's go over to the actual action of the week. That's
Yeah.
some racing going on in Africa. Do you want to start with the time trial recaps, or do you want to
Yeah,
start
sure.
with your rant of the week?
No. We will start with the racing. It's all in the build-up. So let's start with the elite one, the first one. My thoughts of there won't be too much of a difference within the top 5 was completely wrong. But actually, my 1-5-10 prediction was not bad. Royster on 1, Benito on 10, and almost Niedermeyer on 5. She ended top 6. So that's probably one of my best ever. So
Almost is not good
cool.
enough.
Well, yeah. So for me, I think the expected winner, and yeah, she was just so strong. Van der Breggen also, she came a bit earlier in the race, but it was clear like this was a crazy time already. Personal highlight, or she writes highlight probably. Sigrid Haugstad, hot seat moments, and 12th in the end, which were super cool performance.
She did a good time trial, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's not even because 12th in the world in the time trial, you might sometimes think like with all those non-cycling nations that are competing, you might think like, yeah, whatever. But she was really a strong effort.
Yeah, she ends up before Kerbal and Ivia Doma. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Actually, I thought, sir, that the time trial would be more, not to say interesting, but more like a competition because
Yeah.
okay, there was like, yeah, okay, Marlon is the big favorite, but looking at the parkour, I was like, this might be interesting, like for a dark
Yeah.
horse or something. But it was like completely not the case.
Yeah.
In none of the
Yeah.
time trial events, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Vollering on 3.
Mm.
I think she was the only one on the podium who wasn't completely satisfied. I think Van der Breij was happy to be on there, and yeah,
She should.
Roycer, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Alerud on 5 was something I didn't really like. If you see it, it's like, okay, yeah, this kind of makes sense, but like to really before the race, yeah, but it was, yeah, I would say it was an exciting race, but it was not really. Um, nice to see a time trial in the women. That was nice.
Yeah. That's about it. It was announced to be a very interesting race, and then it was like, oh, okay, yeah, nice, okay, yeah. That's like we could predict beforehand. Yeah.
And then you would think the day after, another opportunity. Not really. Yeah, Zoe Bokstad, that was, again, like, super impressive. Also, we talked about Kladanova, that she's a good cyclist, but we didn't know her time trial. Clearly, she's very good at it.
Kind of. For the first year U23, it's not bad.
Yeah. And Van Torelli on 3, wasn't happening on 4.
Eva Holmgren
Yeah.
on 10, that's maybe kind of a surprise in the well, let's say like the negative way, maybe. Maybe you could have expected her like to be more in front.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
and
don't
Paula
know.
Blasi 12th. Yeah, now I see it in the results. She was disappointed. She said I left my legs in Catalonia. Maybe better next time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
like you said, Sarah, it's again, yeah, well, I had a little bit of hope when I saw Kladonova. I was like, she was really strong, and then the first intermediate of Zoe came in, and it was like, yeah, never mind. Okay.
yeah, but she herself said that when she heard the first intermediate, she thought, oh no, people can still bridge this to me. It's too small.
Okay, let's push harder then. Jeez.
And then I don't know if you want to say something about the juniors. It was the only one that I
Actually, the
didn't
most
watch.
exciting time trial of the three.
The
Yeah,
one moment
really.
I can't watch.
Yeah, you missed something. That was an exciting race. It's always nice to see the junior racing. Yeah. You had like the top 5 was really well, but Sviringa, Sviringa top 6. It was like really close. You had like Paula Ostis. Of course, you had Oda Gissinger. This the new Team Coop recruit. Of course, I need to shout out.
Yeah,
But
weird. He
she
didn't get it the episode before.
Nah, but I think I might remember we tried to look up the participants list of the juniors and we were like, we couldn't find it immediately and we were like, yeah, never mind, let's just skip then. And then today I saw it like, oh, damn it, Oda is starting. I should have put her top 3 anyway because she's for the normal world she's kind of a dark horse, which is completely normal because last year she was still playing football, so it's quite an amazing story there. And I think she just started to ride organized racing really in the bunch like this summer or in this or well, I mean in a bunch that you can call a bunch.
Yeah.
Of course, like the Norwegian bunch of 15 people is probably not what you think it's a bunch. And yeah, and then she won Plouay already for the juniors, so she was very strong. And yeah, then you had Megan Arends, who was like, she rode the time trial of her life. I mean, she's an amazing time trialist at her age as a junior. But yeah, she kept pushing. And then I thought like, who with Paula Ostis, who's just like, yeah, the heads-on favorite, of course, in everything she does in junior racing when she starts. But yes, she was also 35 seconds behind. So there was strong effort from the Dutchie. And then we saw some drama with Erin Bootman, actually, the British junior rider. She was on pace like to win top 2, top 3, definitely. And then her foot fell out of her pedal actually on the last climb, so she had to set foot on the ground and then yeah, on the cobbled climb before the finish.
Yeah.
Game over for her.
Oh, that's
Well,
horrible.
kind of tons of respect that she still finished 5th. Actually, that she made the mental switch to still finish it. But yeah, most exciting of the 3 time trials, I think.
Well,
And
then I
what's
just
funny, maybe funny side notes are the British women elite are now done riding, and yeah, it's not like they
Yeah.
take a world champion. It's not like they take the rainbow jersey home, right? Anyway, that was last week's rant.
Then I'll just hype up the discipline I like. I don't know, Kim, what do you think of the mixed relay?
I wish New Zealand would won. I think
Yay!
it's kind of fun. It's like swimming.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm team mixed relay. I want to see it, and Christophe is not convinced yet. So
It's always like a C or D team that they line up, and it's always like, oh, come on, put in. Oh,
well,
give me some
maybe
A
some
riders.
countries,
Like
but
all A riders all racing would be really cool. I would love to.
Yeah,
yeah.
Um,
But there are some A teams like Switzerland with Royce Rueck, Lichty, Schmidt, Kung, Kristen. Like if that's isn't an A team, that's like. And France
Yeah.
is also looking good. Armirai, Seixas, Sivakov, Kerbal, Labous, Gibon.
I think Australia would be quite good as well.
Yeah, Matthews, Pleb, fine. Chapman, Spratt, Wilson, Heffernan. Let me see who's starting. Again, cool. Mauritius is starting as well. I mentioned it last week, but it's cool. Italy, Cataneo, Frigo, Sobrero, Paladin, Trinca Colonel, Venturelli. If I go to Belgium, do I already just do my rant of the week then immediately after?
it might be a nice build-up for your rant,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
discussing the Belgian selection.
So in the mixed relay, they have from the men's side Kampenaerts, Vermeers, Vervenne. And then they also have 2/3 of their elite selection for Saturday starting with Marieke Meert, Angelique van der Velde, Tess Moerman from the U23. If you followed it, two riders won't ride the Worlds. Gekire, since she crashed in Stuttgart and didn't heal in time. And Marti Goossens, who did the time trial, she became ill. And they are not replacing them. They were already just going with 5, so now they are starting with 3. I'm not super happy about it. I think, like, from one side, I can get it. Okay, you don't have the big leader there to work for, and do we have the most Belgians who can do something on this parkour? No, but it's still a lame excuse. Like, I mean, just 3 riders, I think it's a bit sad. And it's also like, in the first place, when Kira still was going, it was like going with 5, and it's like, yeah, we trust Justine will do well, but yeah, also not to give her more than 4 riders to go with. And now it's just like basically for who's still in the race, like, yeah, just do something. You're already there. Like, I don't like
Have
it.
fun in Africa, do some
Yeah.
sightseeing, some
Yeah.
gorillas maybe to spot.
It feels a bit
Yeah.
off, but also just the thing that you already know beforehand. Yeah, we don't have replacements. So, like for the men's team, they sent what's the full team, like 7 riders, and they had 2 replacements ready to go if someone drops out. And for the women, it's just you're with 5, and yeah, if you all become ill, then we just send no one, because why would we? Yeah, no.
Good thing that Lotte is not in her World Championship form today, because the rant would even be worse than.
6 minutes last week was enough. So
Yeah.
but like, okay, if only Jakire fell off, it was like, okay, there are still 4, but like to start with only 3 is like kind of boundary. Like that, you just cross a boundary there.
So we as a Belgian national team, we don't call up replacement, but the Dutchies do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So Marianne Vos isn't going due to family circumstances. So Femke de Vries is coming over to replace her. Yeah, they have a super strong team. Of course, with Vos out, it's always a name less, but maybe in the end, Femke de Vries is also a super good rider, so
Not
she
a
will
bad
also be able.
replacement.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
She can ride a bike. Yeah, they have a super strong team, but well, no, let's say they have a super strong collection of riders, but will they have a super strong team? That's always the big question mark with the Dutchies at the start.
Yeah, we might just as well go over to the road race then. Need to find it between all my tabs, actually. Women elite.
Could be a great team. On paper, at least it is.
Yeah, it depends really. Yeah. I think 2 leaders.
Yeah, on paper it should be 2 leaders. Yeah.
Or can Royakkers give it a shot as well?
I think she's a shadow leader in the team, but I think the 2 leaders are definitely Anna van der Breyen and Demi, of course. Yeah. Jesus.
I'm excited to see what happens. Who's gonna bridge the gaps? What if Femke de Vries, Yara Kastelein is in a little break up front? Is Demi not gonna chase then? After previous years, and now that Lotte isn't racing, it's actually the thing I'm looking forward to the most.
The Dutchy chaos.
Yeah, they do have a new national coach. So if this year it's the same again, like they also just can't say it's the national coach. It's really just them.
Yeah. Kim, what do you think of the parkour, by the way? Would it have been a parkour that would have suited you?
I don't know. I think it'll be so interesting to watch. I'm super excited. Like, I mean, we go with 2 now, but yeah, like I think a lot of the climbers have gone, but because it's so punchy, I think it's going to be a lot. I think they expect it to be hard, but I know a lot like of the climbers have gone being like, oh, this is a good opportunity, but I think it's going to be I think they're gonna get a surprise.
Nice. Yeah, it could go either way. Oh, it's probably not a bunch sprint. That
No.
that's almost a given.
Otherwise,
given
you
the
would have Rebus at the start. Come on.
No, and I think it's like one of these climbs that is just so hard, and they go up at like 11 times. Yeah, it's just gonna be a lactic acid mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I have no idea, Sarah, who's gonna. Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm here for
It's
Kill 4.
I think Kim LaCour could be really strong.
Yeah.
Kim
Or
LaCour
Pauline
would be.
Ferrand-Prévot, if something's left in the tank. I mean, if she
Yeah,
sets
true.
her sights on something, it might be very dangerous, but it all depends on what's still left after her Tour de France femme, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we drop some other names as well? Who's starting?
Well, Niamh Fisher-Black from New
Yeah.
Zealand, maybe.
That's me, Fisher Black.
Mm-hmm.
It's an aggressive course, so it might be something for her.
Longo
Yeah.
Borghini.
At least she will attack. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classics. All yeah.
Imagine Mavi Garcia.
Yeah.
That would be
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Lippert, who knows?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a name that you can put out there on this type of course.
Yeah, they are with 3, but they don't have a bad team actually. Lippert, Koch, Niedermayer.
Mm.
Yeah, the French team is also crazy strong.
Yeah.
Grenier, Ferrand-Prévot, Carvalho, Labousse, Lenet, Muzic, Skibon.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
Mhm.
And the Italians with Barbara Malcotti, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, of course, Shiraz. But that's where we're going later on. Do we want to mention some Shiraz? Sonara Grove is starting. Probably a little bit too hard for her. Maybe. But yeah, she has a leader to try to support, at least for like the beginning of the race, maybe.
Yeah,
Not
let's
really
hope
her
Ashley Moolman has
parcours.
a good race.
Yeah.
I think she's waiting for that the whole season too. So
Mhm.
fingers crossed for her on her continent. She's quite an ambassador in women's cycling, so it should be nice if she would pull off a good result.
Mhm.
Oh, we forgot Kim LaCour as favorite, Sarah. Did we mention her?
We started
okay.
with it.
Okay,
I said,
good. Okay.
I feel it, Kim LaCour.
I was sleeping.
Perikitko is going as well, but also like more support role, I think, for Nina Doma.
Yeah.
But cool. She's also doing the Euros, so will be a super cool experience for her. A Secret Hogshead, of course.
Expect her in a breakaway.
Yeah. Emily Fortin for Canada. Who does she have in her team? Yeah, Alison Jackson, not really her parkour either. Baril,
Yeah.
Gontova, Aminet, and Valieres. And then, of course, 2/3 of the Belgium team so far. You never know what happens. Julie van der Velde and Margot van Pachtenbeke. I do feel a little bit bad for her. Like, it started off with like the announcement, like the public announcement to who's going to Worlds, and then them realizing, oh wait, Lotte's name isn't on there. So it means like we don't have to work for Lotte and we need to do something else. So it starts with that, and then you're eventually here in Rwanda, and then yeah, shit for them. But I hope they can switch and believe in themselves. Because
Of course they will.
if you're listening, you are really strong. You just gotta realize it.
Of course. Julie and Margot will probably try something. Together with
Yeah.
Sigrid. An early breakaway.
And also feel sad for Marike Meert. We don't know her personally, but
Yeah.
I believe Margot on her word. So good luck, girls. Really.
Yeah. We cheer for Marika as well. It's not
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she's not been a Shiraz guest that we should leave her alone in the Belgian team. No. Go, Marika.
So yeah, before we really go again in the race, how do we manifest a Shiraz win? How is it gonna happen?
Yeah, that was my
yeah.
scenario we spoke about. It's like, what did I say? It's like Sigrid, Sonara, and Barbara in the breakaway. The Dutchies completely forget about the breakaway and they miscalculate everything, so they are too late. And Sonara sprints to the world title. I mean, an African world champion. Come on, Sar.
Yeah, would be cool. But I had actually a different scenario in mind, so we could actually just, have every Shiraz guest play a role. That's double the fun. So we have an early break with Sonara, Emily as well, Secret as well. Yeah, why not? And yeah, let's just do Malcotti in there as well. And then we just have like a duo time trial. Julie van der Velde and Margot van Pachtenbeek around 70 kilometers of the finish. Oh yeah, I forgot Perikitko, but she's coming over as well. And a little bit after they got there, we have a Frenchie, let's say Lenet, and from the Netherlands, Femke de Vries in there. Perfect. So then we have Poland represented, the Netherlands, France. Do we need an Italian one as well? Yeah, Malcotti is already in there.
Yeah, sure.
So then all the important countries are represented. Then they are in there. And then Julie van der Velde does the lead out. And Margot van Pachtenbeke sprints to the world title. And then in the end, after all the shitty things in the Belgian team, they get a happy end. Perfect.
Is any one of our listeners still following this scenario? Kim, are you still following?
I think you should send it to the Belgium team and tell them.
Right? Perfect.
And if it unfolds like that, it's going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, indeed. No, I'm hoping for that or Kim LaCour. I would also be fine with that. That would also be cool. But no, maybe every She Rides guest that's listening now and going to the world, be nice to each other. Maybe we can agree on that.
We can open a secret WhatsApp group with secret challenges like the Live Slow, Ride Fast podcast does.
Yeah, my challenge is just be nice to each other. That's cool. No, but realistically, yeah, I think we could definitely see some of them in the break or anticipating. I think Margot, she crashed as well in Stuttgart, so I mentioned something about her disappearing in the finale, and I didn't really know where she went. Well, on the ground, sadly. So if she's recovered, I think she can also do well. Julie van der Velde, more like from a break perspective. But yeah, will be exciting to watch. I think. Yeah, of course, Hollering, Van der Breggen, De Koer, Nuga Doma, Longoborghini. Although I don't really know what to think of Longoborghini. Like it's always like it's a bit quieter, and then she's there. Bam.
She is always there.
Yeah.
It's like we always tend to forget about Marianne Vos, and then it's like, oh shit, yeah, Vos is riding. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah. So do we do 1, 5th, and 10th prediction?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to go for my crazy scenario or do I just
That wouldn't be a first, so go.
No. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on them. I'll just go with Kim LaCour on 1, on 5 Van der Breggen, and on 10 Margot van Pachtenbeke.
I go for Nivia Doma at 1.
Oh, cool. Also.
5 Muziek, and on 10 Julie van der Velde. You want to go for it, Kim?
Sure. I mean, well then I have to go with Neve at 1 just because I have to, and Kim at 5 and Noemi at 10.
Nice one too.
5, yeah.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. Will be exciting.
Cool.
I think.
Yeah.
More exciting.
Just follow
than
our predictions, and it's going to be an exciting race. Whoever of us 3 turns out to be the good prediction.
Yeah.
Or Shabby, of course, and Reusser.
Yeah.
Shouldn't throw in names anymore. They missed my chance. So hey, and while we were awaiting Kim's comeback, we already had to celebrate 1 comeback last weekend.
Yeah.
Didn't we, Seth? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. But like after I had my real recap of the Lotte Kopecky cheering season, she sent me like, yeah, I know I'm not Lotte Kopecky, but do you mind coming to one of my crits? It was her comeback weekend actually. She's not really on the level yet, but she can ride a bike. And well, I was like, sure, of course. I made her a sign, Queen Connie, comeback queen. And first she did one around Aalst. The Belgians will know. But it was really like a lot of crashes. And after 50 minutes, she had to avoid so many crashes that that the peloton was gone and then she blew up. And then she had to abandon. But there was another one, Stekene. I went to that one on Sunday. And she was like, because lately, chronic illness is a bit chronic illnessing. So I was like, yeah, I do want to come, but like not too long. And she was like, yeah, no, don't worry at all. Like, I'll be in the race 1 hour, 1.5 hour mark. And I was like, actually, that's the perfect amount of time to get out for me. The race in total was 100 kilometers and it were laps of 5 kilometers. So that was quite fun. But then also she was going back to the UK the evening and the race only started at 3:30 p.m. But she was so sure she wouldn't come farther than 1 hour, 1.5. She booked a ferry at 8, which is kind of close if the race eventually ended at 6. You have to drive 2 hours and you at least need to be there 1 hour beforehand. But I was with Connie's boyfriend there. We were cheering for her the whole time. And then it was like 15 to 6, and then no 15 to 5, I think. And then he was like, yeah, she's still not really suffering, but actually within this 50 minutes we should be on our way to the ferry. And yeah, she completely underestimated herself. She was strong, and she finished the race, which was super awesome for her. She's been racing for over a year, so it was super cool for her to see her come back. And also, yeah, was super nice to see her in general. I've heard that she will need to do bench because they're a bit short on riders at O'Shea at the
Oh,
moment. Um, so yeah, that's painful. And she's also doing, yeah. Maybe we can, while we wait for Kim to return, we can just talk about the U23 race.
yeah, I just closed my window with the participants list.
Yeah, so we have the crazy strong British team: Imogen Wolf, Elite Show, Flora Perkins, Kat Ferguson, Millie Cousins. We have Belgium, Laura de Schepper, Saide van Sina, Vlermoos, Des Moerman. Australia with Talia Appleton, third from Tour L'Avenir. Ali
Yep.
Anderson, Mackenzie Copeland, Felicity and Wilton Hefnenden. We have Fariba Hashimi, also keep an eye on her. Then Annabelle Thomas, I think you know her from, like, if you watched the Swift Academy. I did. The two Holmgrens are there as well. Julia Kopeski is there. Celia Jury, Marion Bunen, Julie Begaud. Linda Rietman, looking super strong in Stuttgart. Chapla Chaboko on her own. Schreiber, Kladonova as well. She was looking strong, so look out for her.
Yeah,
Blasi, if she has a better day. But there are also quite a lot of riders who are not responding very well to the heat and the altitude, so that's also something to keep in mind. And Helena Jones also rings a bell, I think. U23. Söderqvist, Targevi, think I had the most now. Don't shake me if I didn't. I'm sorry now. Laura Lisette Sander. I think that are the biggest names.
well, it should be Team Great Britain that wins, right? I mean, all the pressure they put on a U23 now. It's like all the resources of British cycling go to the U23
True,
race.
true,
So
true.
hey, come on. I mean, Imogen, Kat, live up to your status now.
Depends on how hard the parkour is and how long they will be able to keep up.
Yeah, it's not a given for neither for
Is
Kat or
Bakstedt
Imogen
not
to
riding?
win.
She's not. Huh? She's not on the participants list. Isn't
That's,
she
yeah,
doing the
I don't know. That I'm not sure.
that seems odd. Nah, she doesn't have anything on the phone. Why? That's weird. Like she's there. That's the thing right now with British cycling. Yeah, apparently that. Well, yeah. I think that's very weird. Yep. Anyways, no Bakstedt. Still
Mhm.
Tushy writes. They are part of the Great Britain team. Also, Laura de Schepper Vleermoos, also to look out for Holmgrens as well. Yeah, you want to drop a name?
Shit, this one is too difficult.
Yeah.
Too difficult. I mean, looking at the names, you would most certainly say, of course, it's Kat, but the parkour is
No,
maybe
it's
not
heavy.
100% for her. Yeah, Paula Blasi apparently left her legs Catalunya, she told.
How many
Yeah, the
times?
Frenchies are, of course, strong. Nah, I go with Paula Blasi. I go. Yeah.
Yeah.
She can go back and forth to Spain to get her legs and yeah, win this thing.
I think it's too hard for Cat. What do you
Yeah,
think?
well, might be.
Otherwise, I would say Cat, but Imogen, not too sure. I think I'm going with Isabella Holmgren, actually.
Oh,
Or about no. We have already a Belgian world champion.
yeah, it's not gonna come from the U23 side. I'm pretty sure.
But what the Schepper can have a nice result, and Moors as well.
Wait, I go with Paula Blasi.
Yeah, okay, will be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for the juniors, I was actually counting on you, but apparently you just closed all the tabs already.
Okay, let me put in an effort. Let me go to the start list then. We have Sydney Swieringa, of course. That might be an interesting one, an interesting name to drop. So Antoni Chermanova, Karolina Spikarova from Czech Republic is strong, but not sure if it's both their parkour, of course. Lise Revol, she can do anything.
Yeah, I
So-
remember her from the cyclocross worlds.
And then, yeah, well, of course, the Brits, Arabella Blackburn, Erin Boothman are strong riders as well. And the Dutchies, Roos Muller. Of course, Oda Arne Gissinger. Yeah, of course, from Poland, Maria Okruszinska. She should always be considered a favorite with the junior team. Paula Ostis, of course.
I was
Just
waiting for that one.
let's just put her on one. That's for sure, I think. That's her parkour. She's strong enough. But don't underestimate Okruszinska to come in second. Ushakova, maybe from Ukraine. Just a maybe. And Irini Papadimitriou from Greece. She's a strong rider as well.
Yeah.
Take keep an eye out for her as well. But I think it's Paula Blasi. Paula Blasi was with the U23. Yeah, I'll go for Spain again. Paula Ostis.
Oh, we didn't do a mixed relay prediction.
I'll leave that entirely up to you.
The hate. Should I also close it? Thinking Switzerland or Switzerland. Yeah. Another one for Magnum. Maybe, but maybe I don't want 3 world titles for her. So we can have the mixed relay and then I want another one.
Okay, heavy. Yeah, sure. Nice. Well, then I just go with France then. You threw in that they were
You're joining me too in the prediction. Yay!
Yes, I remember they were very strong from what you told me, so I just go with France.
Maybe we're still waiting. So one additional transfer in the last couple of days since the last recording is Esme Peperkamp to Volker Wessels. Again, one of the transfer you don't really see coming, but a cool transfer, I think.
Yeah, interesting transfer for Volker's.
Yeah,
Volker's
and
Wessels,
for her
I
as
think.
well, I think. I feel like the atmosphere is always very
Yeah.
nice.
She brings in experience that they lost with Valerie de Meij now retiring. So Esme is 28, so might be.
Also, I am patiently waiting for teams to come out with press releases. Just a casual reminder, Lotte Klaas.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still available, but maybe she still is. Maybe she's signed somewhere, but we don't know anything about that yet. Clara Koppenburg as well. Oh, Kim is back. And Valerie de Meij, of course, as a DS. So still work to do teams.
Yes. Give us what we want. We want to know where Lotte Klaas is going. Come on. Kim is back.
I'm so sorry.
Hi,
We had thunderstorms all afternoon here. It'd been such a nice day, and then 4 o'clock we had thunderstorms, and then suddenly the power just went out, and I was sitting in a dark room.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just for the viewers on YouTube, we have to disappoint you with just looking at Sars and my face now because Kim is completely in the dark over in Girona.
You don't want to just see my eyes.
Might be a scary podcast.
Yeah.
No, that's good. We just went. To kill time. Actually, Kim, we went over the U23 and the junior road race as well, and even the mixed relay. We threw in a prediction.
Super good.
So
you want
about
to
time.
predict the winner? You want to predict the winner for the mixed relay? I'm going with Switzerland.
Yeah, I think that Switzerland is going to be hard to beat. I would like to say Australia, but I don't know.
I picked France. Sars said they're good.
Also really strong. Yeah, that's a good pick.
I said basically, should I go for Switzerland or France? I said Switzerland, and then.
Well, all credits to Sar for my prediction.
True.
Yeah.
And we also just mentioned that there are still some riders / future DSs that teams need to contact or just publish if they have signed.
And if she does not have a contract yet, please someone sign Clara Koppenburg. You can all use her in the team, pretty sure.
Yeah.
She's is one that I love and has taught me a lot and is so good in the team and actually now so experienced.
Yeah.
And that has value
That's good.
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, one of please sign them. We don't like to see riders without contracts. Certainly, if they have the
We don't
talent
want
and the
sad
passion.
guests. Yeah,
No,
sign them.
agreed.
So yeah, I
Uh,
think that's a
yeah.
complete wrap of all the racing news and highlights. And Sar's weekly rant has passed as well. Was pretty
Oh,
decent this week. Very nice of you, Sar. So we can go back to Kim in the dark, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So just return to your training and mindset and lifestyle a bit, Kim. How do you split your training between developing your time trial engine and your climbing? Because it's like both eat from each other when you train them, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, they both eat from each other, but then I think sometimes they complement each other as well because I've learned to hold a high power for a long period of time, and maybe why I struggle a bit more in the shorter time trials. But yeah, I think for me, it's just spending enough time in the position. So I try to get on the TT bike 2 to 3 times, try 3 times a week. And yeah, I think it's looking where important parts of the season are. And deciding what I need to do for that part of the season and prioritizing TT riding when there's TT races coming up, which is not always very often. And then also, yeah, in terms of when it's like grand tours, obviously TTs are important there. But yeah, it's really prioritizing doing a lot of longer climbs and longer sort of, yeah, it is hard, but I think it's, yeah, also we sometimes do endurance rides on the TT bike, even long rides, because it's just good to be in the position if you can bear sitting in it for that long.
Yeah. And that may be kind of a strange question given the season you had, Kim, but what's a typical training week look like for you when you're based in Europe? I mean, you probably didn't have a lot of typical training weeks this season, but I mean,
No.
just in the build up for next season, what would a typical training week look like for you?
Yeah, I think the coach that I had last season, I have a little bit of a different coach for next season, so I don't 100% know what that will look like. But I think, yeah, in the past we've tended to do a lot of the days that I ride are super hard. We do a lot of efforts. We don't do a lot of just pure endurance riding, and we tend to do a lot like we do. I did do 4 to 5 day cycles of training with a rest day, but for us, a rest day is fully off the bike. There's no coffee ride, mobility, and all of this. We really just rested. And so, yeah, when we were training really hard, and when we're resting really hard.
And that's where the magic happens in the resting.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what a lot of people tend to forget.
yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, Kim, outside of racing and training, what keeps you balanced in life in general?
I think, yeah, my husband, my family, we're all super close. I love, yeah, when I'm back home, I just love the outdoors. I love adventure. I love hiking, going to the lake with my family. I have a dog in New Zealand, walking him, and yeah, just being outside in the nature, and also being with my friends there as well, I think is something that I really love and will always do.
And how are you doing right now, Kim? Can you take us through your season a bit? If you want to talk about it, how do you deal with all the bad luck that keeps coming this season?
Yeah, it's been such a hard season for me. Even at the start of the season, yeah, I got the flu, which really lasted for a couple of weeks, and that was, yeah, in March. And then actually for the Ardennes, which I had trained really, really hard for, I got salmonella, which is so like I don't even, yeah. And that, like, we didn't know it was salmonella at the time. Obviously, it's spring, and that time of year tends to be where a lot of gastro bugs happen. So, yeah, I was with the team, but in my own room because I was actually already at the race, ready to race. And the salmonella, it went into my blood. So I was really off the bike for a lot longer than I um, thought I would have been. And then I started to get back into training, but obviously I had lost a lot of condition by then. And then I did some races, Burgos and Navarra, and I started to come back quite well, maybe like a 12th place in Durango or something. But then I had a crash in Burgos and I broke my elbow. And then after that, yeah, it was super hard because from the day that I broke my elbow to the start of the Giro was 6 weeks away. And yeah, I spent a lot of it on the trainer because it was hard to ride outside with it, especially because it wasn't in a cast or anything for the mobility. So, yeah, it was really difficult to get condition back in time for that. And then after the Giro, well, during the Giro, to be honest, I found out that I had slipped 2 discs in my back. So that also, yeah, like I really had to get off the bike. And I think it's something that happened over time. And then, yeah, I had a really, I needed a break. So I went on holiday to Iceland, but I had a really stupid accident in a sauna in Iceland, which, yeah, was like it just sums up my year. But
Yeah.
I think for me, mentally, like I knew, and I hope at some point that like I would come to the end of like this bad cycle and this bad luck. And sometimes I know it just does happen, and I know like even. Yeah, okay, I'm not comparing myself to her, but I know like Lotta Kopecky, and she's not had such a great season. And you see a lot of athletes, like, you just learn to trust the process and know that, like, injuries and accidents and illness do end. There is a cure to them, but you just have to sometimes, like, really pull it back and slow down, and that's what I've done now. And it's really nice not to have the pressure to rush back into, yeah, like racing and training and pushing the body, because I think sometimes that also doesn't help when you're in such a fragile state that you're not able to really give your body the recovery that it needs.
Yeah, we can imagine. I mean, we can laugh a little right now, but the sequence of everything that happens,
Oh
but
yeah.
still, you need to be really mentally strong
Mm-hmm.
to overcome it time
Yeah.
and time again. So let's not forget that. That's the good thing is, Kim, it's almost the end of September. The end of 2025 is near, so you're
Yeah.
almost in for a fresh start.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, my mom always said to me, don't wish your life away, but I think I could wish 2025 away.
Yeah, yeah. I can fully understand. I mean,
I will pass on the next 3, 4 months and just start again.
yeah, wrap yourself in bubble plastic. That's good advice for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think I'd buy myself a Zorb.
Yeah, you should. And then in the future, Kim, do you see yourself evolving into a GC rider, a GC leadership, or will you more focus on one-day races and the time trials? How do you see yourself evolve?
I still feel like for me it's unknown, and I like to just go into these races and give it a go, and I believe that I will become the rider that I should be in in the future. And I, of course, I really enjoy the time trials, and it's somewhere I still really want to put my time into. So I think that that will always be really important for me, and I still need to do some exploring. I love the stage races, but I also love the Ardennes. So yeah, we see.
We're curious already. So, and if we can fast forward 5 years from now, Kim, not only 3 months but 5 years, where would you like to see yourself in the women's peloton at that time?
I think someone like for me, because she's close to home, like I'd love to be able to look up to someone like Grace Brown, because she did some really awesome things. And obviously, she focused on the time trial, and that's something that's really interesting for me. But she also is just a really wise person and gives a lot of really good experience, and personal sort of, she's a really strong character. So I hope to be a rider like her, a lot more someone that a team can really rely on.
Nice. And then just a couple of questions to end our episode. Is there like, if you need to pick one, like the hardest cycling race you've done so far, which one would it be? Or multiple if there's too much to choose from. That's also
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. No, I was trying to think. I think the hardest for me, like mentally, probably would have been my first race in Ronda Muscon because I just didn't know what was going on and it was so hard. And yeah, like I think Liège, the day I ended up doing, because yeah, okay, the peloton, it kind of came back together, but when they touched, like I was out front with another girl from I can't even remember, Movistar, and then when the next, it just came together, but I was actually still right at the front as the attacker went, so I was pretty much in the break for like 100 kilometers, and it's such a hard race because even if you're not in the break, you have to be on the pedals all day. So yeah, that was definitely one of the hardest days in my career.
You just said you don't really know yet what direction you want to go, but if there's if you can, let's say, one race in the rest of your career, which one would it be?
Yeah, I still love Liège. It's such a cool race. I really like it. So probably that one.
Nice. Yeah, you actually found out about that racing bikes was a thing rather late, I would say. So role models early on was maybe not the easiest, but do you have like a rider you look up to now?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I loved being Mariana Voss's teammate. She's somebody who I'll always really look up to, and she gave me a lot of time and a lot of she was really, really nice to me when I joined the team and actually just taught me a lot. So she's someone that I love and respect a lot.
And then just as a last question, do you have a piece of advice for athletes coming from another sport into cycling?
I think yeah, just that it's obviously a really hard process, and you just need to trust that you're doing, like if you choose to do it, it's a hard process, but you need to surround yourself with people that will lift you up, support you, and just really create that circle that you can trust, so that you have people around you to support you in doing and changing sport, because I think that's really, really important, because you will ask yourself a lot why you're doing it. So you need other people to keep you grounded.
It's a great piece of advice to wrap this episode up, I think, Sar. It's only one thing left then, Kim, and it's to thank you very much for your appearance on the show, for your words, for your answers, for your nice talk. It was a really lovely episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah, it was super good. No, thank you guys so much. Sorry that I'm now not on camera, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and listening to you guys was super nice.
No, that's nice. No worries. And then we had a power cut, so it's again a funny twist to the episode.
And to the ending of my year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have been right if there wasn't a power cut.
Yeah, I mean, we need a dose of bad luck when we invite Kim Cadzow to the podcast, right?
Exactly.
You lived up to your standards. Thank you for that.
Yeah. No problem. Anytime.
But then I think we also need to wish you the least bad luck possible for the remaining months of 2025, and then the best luck possible for 2025. Onto the list
Thank
of
you.
riders who deserve their portion of luck now. There are a couple, and
Thank you. Yeah, I will
hopefully
take
you're
all
one of them.
the luck. I'll take all the luck you give me.
Yeah, be prepared for some serious biased cheering now that you appeared
Yeah.
on our podcast.
Thank you. No, super nice.
So that's a wrap for episode 45 of She Ride. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the ride.
Absolutely. A women's cycling is packed with action, and we're here to bring you every twist and turn.
Be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or YouTube so you don't miss upcoming episodes. And if you like today's show, a rating, like, or comment really helps us reach more.
Follow us on Blue Sky and Instagram for behind the scenes updates, our hashtag Guess the Guest game, and more.
Thanks again for joining us today, and don't hesitate to share your questions or topics you'd like us to cover.
Stay tuned for more exciting guests and join our prediction competition. Tag She Rides podcast on Blue Sky to show off your knowledge, and She Rides is powered by KDM Endurance Coaching.
Thanks for listening to She Rides, where women cycling takes the lead. Keep watching the fun, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.